Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates. They're not lost, they're coming. Yeah. These were all our graduates. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the academic procession. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. On behalf of Maastricht School of Management, it is a great honor to welcome you all at this graduation ceremony. A very special welcome to our esteemed guest speakers, the Reverend Professor Kingsley Larby, President and CEO of Regent University College of Science and Technology, and Ms. Jessie Inman, CEO of the Confederation Center of the Arts and MsM alumni. Welcome also to the members of the board of Maastricht School of Management. And a special welcome to the ambassadors of Azerbaijan, Albania, Ghana, and representatives of the Embassy of Indonesia. Welcome to the representatives of our partner universities who joined us from all over the world. Welcome to the sponsors of our graduates and to the members of the government and the business and educational community. Welcome to the faculty and staff of Maastricht School of Management. And a warm welcome to the graduates from the Maastricht programs who worked incredibly hard. Today, their efforts will be rewarded. Also, a warm welcome to the graduates from our outreach partners. Today we have graduates present from our partner universities in China, Egypt, Kuwait, Ghana, Saudi Arabia, and Zambia. Welcome to the families, relatives, and friends of our graduates. And finally, a very special welcome to everybody who cannot attend this ceremony, but who is following us for our live internet broadcast. Now I would like to invite to the stand Mr. René van der Linden, Chairman of the Board of Maastricht School of Management.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, may I start with a warm welcome to the students and the graduates. It's your day, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the Maastricht School of Management, I would say to you, we are extremely proud that we have such a wonderful community here at the Maastricht School of Management. It's for that reason that we are members of the Board of Trustees of Maastricht School of Management. We belong to a world which is more and more globalizing. And you are connected to each other also in the future, not only by the social media, I hope also in personal contacts. And in a way, we have become, in this globalizing world, neighbors. So I want to say that in this fast-changing world, it's important that we live together with different traditions, different cultures, different religions, and this intercultural and interreligious dialogue, which I am supporting extremely for the new generation. I believe that mutual understanding and mutual respect is the basis for living together. Especially today, also in Europe, we are confronted with some developments which have questioned the multinational and multicultural society. And I'm a politician, and I want to say to you that I am supporting this multicultural, multinational society because it's part of our daily life. May I welcome especially also the governor of the province of Limburg, Mr. Frissen. He is since a few months member of the board. He is leaving his post as governor, and so we are very proud and thankful that he has accepted the invitation to become member of the board. May I also welcome the President of the University of Maastricht, Mr. Paul, and the Rector of the University, Mr. Mols. We are now, in a way, cooperating closer and closer so that we can have an advantage of our not only being part of the same city, the wonderful city Maastricht, but also that we use the capacity and the intellectual capacity of the Maastricht University and also the Maastricht School of Management. We are part of a really interconnected world, and I hope that you become real ambassadors of the Maastricht School of Management, that you become part of our excellent, inspiring alumni network. And that we also use this as a tool for the future, for new students, but also for business. And may I personally say that especially in your life, I hope that moral values, good governance, capacity building plays an important role. We need moral values in our society, and especially because it's not only economy, it's also community. And I am very thankful that the Maastricht School of Management community has offered the best they have to your education. And I hope that this will be a part of your life, but also a moment that you can say, this is an inspiring day, and especially also that we can offer and contribute not only to your career in the future, to the contribution of the economy and social life in your country, but especially also to your personal life. Thank you very much for having chosen the Maastricht School of Management, and I believe that this institute is a center of excellence for students coming from emerging economies, developing countries, and also from the European side. And finally, I'm very grateful that we, and you are already welcomed, have today about 10 ambassadors coming from the different countries. Many of them have students here. From Albania, Azerbaijan, and Ghana, they are here today in the morning session, and in the afternoon we will have the ambassadors from Bhutan, Georgia, Nigeria, Rwanda, Sri Lanka, and Uganda. I hope that you have a wonderful day. I thank once again the staff of MsM that they have contributed to this final result, and I wish you all the best, not only today, but also in your future life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. van der Linden. It is my honor to introduce to you our first guest speaker of this ceremony, the Reverend Professor Kingsley Larby. Professor Larby has a very rich educational and working experience. He holds a Master of Theology degree and a Doctor of Philosophy degree from the University of Edinburgh, Scotland. The Reverend Professor Larby is the founding father of 2 private universities in Ghana, Central University College and Regent University College of Science and Technology. MsM is proud to call Regent University one of its partners, and we are very pleased today to have in our middle such an impressive number of its graduates for this ceremony, and also the President and Chief Executive Officer of Regent University. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the Reverend Professor Kingsley Larby.
I'm Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Maastricht School of Management, MsM, Dean Director of Maastricht School of Management, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, faculty and staff of MsM, graduation class of 2011, distinguished invited guests, members of the press, students, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you warm greetings from Ghana, a country of great opportunities. I also bring you felicitations from the board, management and staff of the Regent University College of Science and Technology, an institution that holds much promise to our dear country, Ghana. We highly appreciate the relationship we have developed with MsM and the friendship we share with the Dean Director and some of the academic and administrative staff of this great institution. We are particularly delighted that MsM has chosen to be the place, has chosen Ghana to be the place it will celebrate its 60 years of anniversary. We wish MsM success as it plans for this great event. It is my considered opinion that this would be the best time to launch the proposed joint Doctor of Business Administration program in Ghana. We are therefore looking forward to a continued mutually beneficial relationship in the upcoming years. It is indeed great pleasure to be part of today's important ceremony. It is an honor to be asked to be here as guest speaker. I expressed my deepest appreciation to the Dean Director, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees, and all those who made this invitation a possibility. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for several decades now, the Maastricht School of Management has operated as a world leader in the provision of high-level management education. As a leading, globally networked management training institution with partners all around the globe, it has contributed in no small way in raising leaders who will help in the shaping of destinies of the nations of the world. The strength of MsM is in its global presence, the internationality of its faculty and staff, and the prestige it has built for itself over the years. Present and past leaders of this institution must therefore be praised for their efforts. The Dutch government must also be praised for setting up such an important institution and also supporting it over the years. It is hoped that, in spite of global economic trends, the Dutch government will continue to support it because of the important role it plays in leadership development around the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, of the things that determine the progress and development of nations and organizations, leadership plays the most critical role. It is from this perspective that MsM and other related institutions must be concerned about the caliber of leaders they churn out to the global world. If there has ever been the time for an urgent need for ethical, visionary, and selfless leaders, then the time is now. This is because, in spite of all the sophistications that our world has gotten accustomed to in our time, there is strong evidence of the lack of strong ethical leadership. Developments around the world in recent times are indicative of the fact that our world is dangerously losing its moral fiber and is heading towards a dangerous end. The malpractices of CEOs of certain companies around the world that almost led to the collapse of the global economy, recent happenings that affected a CEO of one of the powerful financial institutions in the world, the forgery of expense claims by some lawmakers in certain countries, the shameful display of moral turpitude of some known political and religious leaders of our time, the ongoing political and civil upheavals elsewhere around the globe, and the selective nature and manner of responses of some world leaders to these local and regional upheavals are some of the indicators of what is wrong with leadership today. Our present world seems to be in control of men and women who are themselves controlled by base instincts with no reference to morality, ethics, and justice. Ours is a world controlled by injustice, greed, inequities, hypocrisy, and self-seeking leadership. A world where those who are powerful militarily and economically control, dictate, and indeed subjugate those who are economically and militarily poor or weak. Ours is a world where the opinion of the weak and the less powerful can be ignored with impunity. A world where leaders in pursuit of self-interest are willing and indeed determined to kill, maim, and inflict pain on both the guilty and the innocent who stand in their way. And this is our world. It appears leadership in our world today is defined by the dictum, quote, if it pleases me, or if it serves my interest, then it is good, unquote. It appears if you have the military, the economic, and political power, then you can do whatever you want without reference to any ethical or moral code. And this is the danger that our world and the leadership of the world is facing today. The failure of leadership at the top level affects the majority of our people. Educators of leaders at the highest level should therefore be concerned about the quality and caliber of leaders they produce for our world today. The time has therefore come for institutions of higher learning, especially management and leadership development institutions, to incorporate into their curriculum issues of character formation, ethics, and morality. I believe MsM, with its global outreach, can play a leading role in this crusade. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is when conscious efforts are made by governments, public-spirited individuals, and organizations to address the inequities and injustices of our world that there shall be peace in our communities and in our world. The good book says that the fruit of justice shall be peace. This we will ignore to our peril, for our peace and prosperity is linked up with our just social relations and the peace and prosperity of others with whom we share common humanity. Let us therefore insist on ethical leadership that will work for a just and a prosperous world for all. Mr. Chairman, it is my understanding that students from about 12 African countries are graduating both in this session and then the afternoon one. I would therefore want to take this opportunity to speak specifically on some issues affecting the African continent. Africa is one continent that has been gravely misunderstood and misrepresented. It is amazing how very little the world knows about Africa, the cradle of humanity. The things that are normally highlighted by the media are the paradoxes, the problematic, the bizarre, and the enigmatic. Africa's true story is yet to be told. It is estimated that about 40% of the world's natural resources are found on that continent. Africa can boast of some of the world's finest scientists, engineers, doctors, architects, mathematicians, and what have you. Unfortunately, the large proportion of Africa's best brains is found outside the African continent. For example, some Africans are playing key roles in NASA's Mars exploration, and this includes Ghana's own Dr. Ashite Trebi Olenu, an internationally acclaimed space scientist and engineer who is currently working as the senior robotics engineer and technical group leader at NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory in the United States of America. And the list is endless. Whereas there are more opportunities in Africa for quicker avenues for success than could be found in most places, most of our young men and women grow up thinking that they can only prosper when they relocate to the Western world. This illusion sometimes forces young Africans at the peril of their lives to undertake dangerous journeys across the Sahara Desert and in flimsy boats on raging oceans in search of a better life elsewhere. I will not be surprised that some graduates that are in the audience today may have already started looking for ways to extend their stays in the Netherlands instead of going home to help in the development of their various countries. In Africa today, as it has always been, there are great opportunities for investment in areas such as agriculture, manufacturing, agro and mineral processing, education, housing, health, waste management, and banking. We have no illusions about the size of the problem that some African countries face. But as we know, every challenge presents great opportunity for us to make an impact and to restore hope to the hopeless. I'll give you one example. About 6 years ago, one Joseph Ejapon, a Ghanaian, saw the filth and environmental degradation in our country as not acceptable. This gave birth to Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, a waste management company. He started small with some very daunting challenges. Today, Zoom Lion has become a household name found in almost all the cities and towns of Ghana. It is currently planning to offer its services to the neighboring countries. And Mr. Japon is now considered one of the most well-to-do people in Ghana. And we have several examples that fall within this category. The challenges of Africa have over the years stemmed from both local and external factors. Africa's encounter with the global world has not always been from the position of strength. Neither has it always been positive. The continent, more often than not, has been subjected to exploitation in all its various forms and shades. Africa needs a more healthier and humane encounter with her global partners. Instead of offering aid as a panacea to Africa's economic challenges, Africa must be offered equitable business relationship with her global partners. The more technologically advanced world must work with Africa to ensure an accelerated technology transfer to enable it to harness the enormous natural and human resources that abound on the continent. I dare also state that Africa needs visionary leaders like Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, and Nelson Mandela, to name but a few. Most importantly, it must be emphasized that, like the rest of the world, Africa needs ethical, selfless leaders filled with passion and vision for a new Africa and a new world. Currently, there is a wind of change blowing all over the continent, and this can never be stopped. The journey of Africa's search for emancipation has been long. The experience, sometimes bitter and torturous. There have been decades of unfulfilled dreams. The journey has been a long-drawn battle of good over evil, a self-inflicted battle of unethical leadership, as well as an externally imposed battle of subjugation, exploitation, and injustice. But some of us will agree, insofar as human experience in this world is concerned, good and evil will continue to engage each other. Sometimes, evil will seem to be winning. However, in the divine scheme of things, good will ultimately overcome evil. And this is our hope, and this is our consolation of the people of the world. Now, Mr. Chairman, allow me to address the graduates who have beautifully assembled here today. I want to extend congratulations to you. You can celebrate your success. There have been challenges on the way, but at long last, today, the battle at this phase of your life is over. There are still, however, some more territories to conquer and hurdles to overcome. So the battle of life continues, even after today's glorious event. So, fight on. For the battle that we fail to fight today, we will live to fight them tomorrow. You are going out as leaders, trained in one of the finest management institutions you will find anywhere in the world. You have a charge to keep and a world to conquer. Yours is a world where leadership is losing its moral authority. Demonstrate exceptional leadership in your various countries and organizations to determine that you belong to a new breed of leaders. Let a vision of a new world be the perpetual flame that will keep your dreams alive. And remember, there are no shortcuts to successful living. Therefore, take as your defense moral, ethical, spiritual, and physical fortitude. Let your inspiration and perspiration be a vision and a passion for a new world and a new society. Let hard work, perseverance, and courage be your byword. Therefore, let service to humanity be your greatest preoccupation. These are the timeless truths for true living and true success. Emulate and continue in these things. And the good Lord being on your side, you will win and leave legacy in your world. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as a people, we have a common humanity. We have the collective responsibility in working towards a just and prosperous society. This, however, cannot happen unless we insist on ethical and visionary leadership. This we must do. We must commit ourselves to what makes life worth living. Life is short, but we can leave a legacy. What we do for ourselves will die with us, but what we do for others in society will remain after our journeys here on earth are over. The future belongs to those who dare to dream and work for it. So let us dream and work for a better world and better communities. Karl Marx has said that philosophers have variously interpreted the world, but what is important is to change it. And the good book also says that without vision, the people lose restraint. Or without vision, the sense of direction, the people perish. Someone has also said that ordinary people see things as they are and ask why. But exceptional people dream about things that never were and ask why not. Mr. Chairman, I would want to end with a quotation with some slight modification from the human rights leader in the person of the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Quote, difficult and painful as it might be, we must walk on in the days ahead with an audacious faith in the future. When our days become dreary with low hovering clouds of despair, and when our nights become darker than 1,000 midnights, let us remember that there is a creative force in this universe, working to pull down the gigantic mountains of evil. A power that is able to make a way out of no way, to transform dark yesterdays into bright tomorrows, unquote. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this should be our hope and our earnest expectation. Thank you very much, and may our good Lord bless and guide our deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Professor Kingsley Larby, for your interesting speech on ethical leadership and the possibilities in Africa. I am sure you have given our African students and also all the others present today something to think about. It is a good tradition at MSM to have one of our distinguished alumni to speak at our graduation. This year we are very pleased that Ms. Jessie Inman accepted our invitation. Ms. Inman is a true representative of MSM's philosophy of the globally networked management schools. I quote her own words. She felt unique and blessed to be a North American, Canadian, living in Asia, Indonesia, studying at the European MBA from the Maastricht School of Management based in the Netherlands. Ms. Inman graduated in 1998 with distinction from our partner university in Indonesia. She has over 30 years of experience in leadership, investment, and development positions. Recently, however, she has decided to make an important career switch. She has been now appointed as CEO of the Confederation Center of the Arts in Prince Edward Islands in Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Jessie Inman.
Chairman Linden, distinguished members of the Board of Directors and Trustees, ambassadors representing the countries of MSM students, distinguished MSM partners, Reverend Professor Larby, honored guests, families, friends, students, and the very reason for our presence here today, the graduates of 2011. Firstly, I wish to thank the Maastricht School of Management for the honor to invite me to speak to you here today at this very special graduation ceremony. As alumna of this unique international institution, I am very pleased to congratulate each student graduating here today. MSM is a unique institution with international accreditation and recognition for delivering some of the best quality postgraduate educational programs in the world. Its outreach program is second to none in providing high-quality education to so many corners of the globe. Many schools in the world are still trying to figure out how to go global as a means of staying in business. But MSM figured out a successful business model a long time ago. The professors come to you, you come to Maastricht. We work with local partner universities. It's simply a winning combination. And then on top of it, we get to have this international alumni that we can count on for the rest of our lives. Unlike most schools in the world, we can send off a note to a graduate in another country, and we have something in common, MSM, Maastricht. Our alumni are like our own personal version of LinkedIn. Just this year alone, we have graduates from 41 countries. Can you imagine the linkages that creates immediately? You actually get to take home today a network in 41 countries. That's absolutely unique. We obtain our degrees through full-time study or through part-time because we must work as well. But no matter what we choose, there's no better feeling than the feeling of accomplishment. That's what you're feeling here today. Obtaining the degree you worked so hard to earn. The long days and nights where you were buried in books and papers, Many of you with family and other commitments, at times you wondered whether or not you were going to make it through. But here you are today celebrating the results of those long and sometimes lonely hours. What a wonderful feeling it is. And now it is time to take your knowledge, your new intellect, and decide how you will contribute to your own lives, to your families, to those people around you, to your country, and to the entire world. Some of you may already know what you're going to do next, and some of you will be seeking out positions in the workplace, or perhaps in your hometowns, in cities around you, or perhaps in faraway places because you decided to work internationally. But we all understand we live in challenging times. We've been through a global financial meltdown in 2008 that has changed the world. And the uncertainty continues today, as we've seen over the last few months and weeks and even days. Volatility seems to be the new norm. However, I believe the trajectory to globalization cannot be stopped, especially now with the true realization of a world connected by the internet. But within this global village, there is a growing sense of nationalism. With changing demographics realized by population control, or lack thereof, and an aging population in many countries, more women in the workplace, many families needing 2 incomes to make ends meet, vastly increasing energy demands in countries that are developing, changing climates. It's a world of change. But in change, there is always a land of opportunity, and that is what you, the leaders of the future, must understand as you work hard to meet the demands of this changing world for the benefit of all people in all nations. We need your leadership, your vision, your solutions. By the very nature of your decision to study and graduate here today, you have committed to delivering on great expectations. So today I would like to give you a little bit of information about my life, only to give examples of concepts, analogies, and ideas that have worked for me. I was born into a big family on a farm in Canada's most beautiful but smallest province, Prince Edward Island. It's the most important province because that's where the Confederation of Canada was founded. We lived on a farm. We were not wealthy. Maybe from these roots, or maybe from a quote I read when I was very young, the driving force of my life has always been about one single word. That word is commitment. A quote that may have been written by a Himalayan climber, W.H. Murray, but at least in part by a German poet, Goethe. But what's important is the subject of the quote. It is about commitment. A quote that I've always had written on a piece of paper where I could read it every single day of my life. You may know it already, but the essence of it goes something like this. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, the possibility of changing your mind. Concerning all acts of initiative, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment that one definitely commits oneself, then the universe moves to help you. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issue from that decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings, which no one could ever have dreamt would have come your way. What you can do, or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. So my message today to you is be committed in everything you do. Get up every morning and make a decision of how you want your day to be. Sad, unhappy, productive, unproductive. Most often you're going to choose happy and productive. But the simple act of making a conscious decision will impact your whole day in positive ways. Be committed to innovation and creativity, and most importantly, to following through. We all have great ideas. Many people think of new ways to do things every day, new cool gadgets that's going to change the world. But all the innovation and creativity in the world will not bring results unless you commit to taking action. Make a list of steps and start stepping. That's what the great innovators and leaders of the world do. Otherwise, the ideas just stay in their heads and they can't benefit anybody in the world. And remember that what you might automatically think of as a failure is not a failure. Look at it, stare it straight in the face, and figure out what you learned, because learning is never a failure. You know that because of your presence here today. You're celebrating so many new things that you've learned recently. Remember, sometimes success is just a series of mistakes until you get it right. Lifelong learning is one of my strongest values. I believe we must be committed to always learning something new. Otherwise, we stagnate. I was a CEO of a company in Australia once that invented a new natural gas processing technology. As the CEO, my job was to lead. That's my area of expertise. But for me personally, I wanted to understand that technology. So without an engineering degree, I took it upon myself to understand the thermodynamics of natural gas processing. And I succeeded because of relentless pursuit and commitment to understanding how that technology worked. And not too long after that role started, I could get up and make technical presentations without my chief technology officer in the room to lean on. I was proud of myself for doing that. So let your strengths serve your self-confidence, but always understand your weaknesses. Acknowledge them. How do you overcome them? Can you learn something new to overcome them? Or do you have a strength that counteracts them? Figure it out, and that will further add to that self-confidence that will take you many places in the world and in your lives. You can seek out jobs that will require you, allow you, force you to learn new things. For example, I have had a lifelong love of arts and culture, but never before thought about combining it with a career track of being a CEO. And then there it was, presented to me right on my computer screen, LinkedIn, a unique opportunity. I went after it, and I was offered this amazing position of CEO of the Confederation Center of the Arts in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, my little home province. MsM learned of this event and invited me to come in here and speak to you today. Most students forget who gave the keynote speeches at their graduating ceremonies, but I don't want you to forget me. I personally invite you to my little corner of the world, this little island in Canada filled with arts and culture, the things that enrich the soul, raise the spirit, and give you a deeper meaning in life. When you get home, I want you to Google it and make a plan to come and visit me. Lots of people visit Western Canada, not fully appreciating the fact that the East has outstanding beauty and a soul that is rich in history and full of wonderful, warm, friendly people that will welcome you with open arms. Now, I want to encourage you to always look at different avenues that could possibly lead to an outcome that you want. In my life, for example, in September 1992, I arrived in Bangkok, Thailand, as lead for a group of Canadian business people looking for new markets in Southeast Asia. I immediately knew I was out of my league, entering a world of culture, language, business norms that I knew nothing about. So right there and then, on that first trip, I decided to move to Indonesia and learn all about it. I chose Indonesia for two reasons. Firstly, everyone told me it was the most complicated place to do business in Southeast Asia. And I wanted to get the most out of my 2 years, get some Asian credibility. And secondly, because everybody was smiling. Everybody in Jakarta was smiling. It was great. So there we go. Simple reasons. I'd move to Jakarta and I'd get a job. I went back home to Canada and my friends thought I was crazy and that the probabilities of making this happen were next to none. And I quickly realized that as a single white Canadian female, getting a job in Jakarta and moving there would be easier said than done. I went around to various Canadian businesses in Jakarta on future trips, only to be told, no Asian experience, no job. So I thought about how I was going to do this. So I told everyone I was moving to Jakarta, and I just needed that job. And then lo and behold, because everyone knew, I soon found out about the job of Canadian Investment Advisor to Indonesia. Now I had to get it. I was already well into my Indonesian language training and was becoming well versed in the foreign investment laws of Southeast Asian nations. And I also found out who could provide me with that job, and I pursued him relentlessly for the next 21 months. I ran into him everywhere on purpose, and then I'd write him a letter and tell him I was looking forward to working for him soon in Jakarta. So exactly 24 months from that first decision to move to Indonesia, I packed my bags and I left for Jakarta. I was only going to stay 2 years, but I ended up staying 10. But before I went to Indonesia, I was just about to start to do an MBA in Canada, but I couldn't do it because now I was going to Indonesia. And by 1996, I knew that I wasn't going to return to Canada soon, so I had to come up with a new solution for my MBA. So I tried to get a leading Canadian business school, well known, to set up in Southeast Asia, but to no avail. So then I went about looking for foreign schools operating in Jakarta, and I came upon MsM. And after much research and looking at reviews of MsM that rated it so highly on the international spectrum of business schools, I knew it was the place for me. The program, although equivalent to full-time study, was organized so that I could continue working, as long as I didn't want to sleep for 2 years or have a weekend off. The dedicated professors came and went as we finished one module after another. After 2 very long years and a lot of hard works, sleepless nights, lonely days, I graduated with an MBA with distinction in banking and finance. And what a feeling that was, just like you're feeling here today. So I understand exactly where you are. And with that MBA, I was able to tackle more challenging jobs. Even during my studies, I was becoming a better Canadian investment advisor to Indonesia. And then I went on to work for KPMG, always moving up until I became president director of a company to set up a large manufacturing base in Central and East Java. It was interesting being a single foreign woman in the middle of the most populous Muslim country in the world. But I was quite successful at it. But I believe that was just for one reason only. That is, you always get back what you give in life. Always remember that. You always get back what you give in life. But my point of telling you this story is also to bring you back to the word commitment. Commitment to something you want, the patience and the persistence to get it. Letting the world around you to conspire to assist you in fulfilling your dreams. Commitment creates passion. Passion creates self-confidence. The self-confidence that you can do things that other people might even think you can't do. But make sure it is your version of self-confidence. Don't be overbearing. Don't be boastful. Just be sure of what you know, and more importantly, of what you don't know. Be quietly confident. Make sure you know yourself. And when you go about choosing your career, have lofty goals. Do something you love. Don't settle for second best. Go after that which you love and want. If you do, you will get it, and your passion will show through, and it'll be there for everyone around you, every single day. And always remember that if one door closes, another one always opens. So that brings us to the fact that we have to deal with fear. There's nothing wrong with fear. It's all in how we handle it. How do we get over our fears? For me, it's confronting it straight on. I once had a fear of heights and flying at one point in my life. So I went bungee jumping 7 times, and then I jumped out of an airplane 7 times. I think 7 is my lucky number. And I've been flying around the world for the past 30 years, so I no longer have any fear of heights or flying. Rather, it is replaced with a fear of freedom, which is a wonderful feeling. And I encourage you to go for the outrageous to overcome fears or to realize your dreams. Just a little story. My husband and I, we love adventure travel. We were trekking across the Patagonia in southern Chile and Argentina a few years ago when I said to him, let's go to that small town in the tip of Argentina where you can go to Antarctica. You can go from there. It was a big dream in my life to get to Antarctica. I had seen it in a National Geographic when I was really young, and I thought, I have to go there sometime. So we went to Ushuaia, and we saw all the signs, leaving for Antarctica tomorrow. But of course, we couldn't go right then. We wanted to go a year from then. So we went around seeking out the best way to go. And the choices were large cruise ship, small cruise ship, large icebreaker, small icebreaker, large sailboat, or small sailboat. I simply asked, which would be the most exciting and exhilarating? And of course the answer was a small 60-foot sailboat, and guess what it was named? Commitment. I couldn't say no. So we signed up to be 2 of 8 people on a 60-foot sailboat named Commitment to leave a year later. Neither one of us had any sailing experience whatsoever, so we went back to Australia where we were living at the time, and we took a sailing course. And then we crewed on races every weekend for the coming year. This was all good, but there's not much that can prepare a novice sailor for 60-knot winds and 40-foot waves in the middle of the Drake Passage. So you simply must live in the moment, the now. Take it one bump at a time and enjoy the ride. At times I was lashed to the wall of my bed because that was the only way I could stay on it and try to get some sleep. And we had no idea what to expect from Antarctica when we got there. Our destination, was it going to be worth this or not? We didn't know until we got there and saw this breathtaking continent full of ice. Thousands of penguins that we spent Christmas with, whales and other animal life, and thank goodness, very few other human beings. It was definitely worth it. So life is like that. It's not always smooth sailing. It can deliver bumps along the way. But you must always remember to enjoy the ride, the journey of this one life that we are given. Life is about this moment, not about yesterday. That's gone, never to be lived again. Tomorrow is the future. Prepare for the future, but don't live in it. Live in this moment. Love your life right now, today. You will never get it back to do over again. And that brings me to contribution and giving back. Always remember to give back. Life gives us so much. Everyone in this room is a very fortunate person. No matter your background, your race, your gender, your nationality, your perceived status in life, what I can assure you of is that you are blessed. Around October 31st this year, you will be one of 7 billion people on this planet. And you most likely live a standard of living in the top 5%. There's a lot of people are less fortunate than we are, a lot of people. We must take care of those that helped us to get here. And we must take care of those that are less fortunate than we are. Do it in whatever way you can. Donate, volunteer, participate, and be there when people need you. In your daily lives, lend a helping hand. Be a good listener. Be a good, true friend. I feel so blessed to be going back to my little island, the place that rooted me in my early years and gave me the courage to explore the world. I feel like I'm going full circle. I want to be there. I want to give back to this unique place in the world. I'm positive it will fulfill me in many wonderful ways. And my final advice to you today, as you return to your homes and to new jobs and to new futures, is about integrity. This is something you must be committed to every moment of every day of your lives. Don't ever turn a blind eye. We all know right from wrong. It's part of our humanness. Don't ever allow yourself to compromise your integrity. We've seen senior global business leaders surprise us with a complete lack of integrity in recent years, in countries where these things are not supposed to happen. Some of these people are in jail, some have been shamed into hiding, and others seem to be riding on top again. I strongly recommend that your integrity be a priority in your life. so that you can always hold your head high and know that you did the right thing in every decision, in every situation. It defines for you and everyone around you exactly who you are. Go to bed every night with a clear conscience. The world is a-changing, but it's an exciting place. You have a full life of opportunity and challenge in front of you. Embrace it and rise to it. Above all, remind yourself and understand yourself of who you are and what's important to you. My closing words are my version of the famous quote by Brian Littrell. Reach for the moon. If you don't happen to make it, you'll land in the stars. I have no doubt about it. Congratulations, my fellow graduates of MSM. Enjoy this moment, this day. It is such an honor to be here to celebrate with you. Let's go away better people because we had this unique opportunity to be here today together. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Inman, for sharing your personal experience with us. And knowing the commitment of our students, don't be surprised, they will not forget you. They may turn up all 150 in Prince Edward Islands soon. Now I would like to invite to the stand Professor De Gijzel, Dean Director of MSM, Professor De Man, Academic Coordinator of the MSc programs, and Christine Woestenburg, Manager Maastricht Education Operation, for the awarding of the Master of Science degrees.
Candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Management, please rise. To the best of our knowledge, we have now fulfilled all requirements to enable us to request the Examination Committee of the Open University of the Netherlands to award you the degree of Master of Science in Management. Congratulations with this achievement. You can now move the tassel to the right.
My dear MSc students, congratulations! Today all of you are receiving your well-deserved diploma for the MSc in International Business. We have shared quite a journey together, here in Maastricht, but also in Beijing. It hasn't been easy. We have encountered some of the bumps that Ms. Jessie Inman was already speaking about. However, I'm very proud of you to see how you have pulled through and are standing here today. Congratulations once again. Now I would like to invite you, Masters of Science, to come to the stage to receive your diplomas. Mr. Javidan Akundov from Azerbaijan. In absentia, Ms. Sena Demet Altundak from Turkey. Mr. Cengiz Asgarov from Azerbaijan. Ms. Diana Carapia Gonzalez from Mexico. Ms. Florel Eno from the Netherlands. Mr. Pieter Volkertsma from the Netherlands. Ms. Kelsey Kantner from the United States of America. Mr. Qingduan Clark Lee from China. Ms. Gusti Maharani from Indonesia. Mr. Nicolas Mira from France. Mr. Samik Muradov from Azerbaijan. Mr. Nguyen Phong from Vietnam. Mr. Lucas Rietveld from the Netherlands. Mr. Boy Teunissen from the Netherlands. And Ms. Eva Tomasila from the Netherlands.
Congratulations, Professor De Man. Thank you, Professor De Man, and congratulations, Master of Science in Management. You also. Well, on the result achieved by your students, of course. We will now proceed with the awarding of the Master of Business Administration degrees. I would like to ask Professor Van Maurik, Academic Coordinator of the MBA programs, to join Professor De Gijzel and Ms. Woestenburg on stage for the awarding of the Master of Business Administration degrees. Professor De Gijzel, may I invite you to the stand?
Candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration, please rise. The Master's School of Management, upon recommendation of the faculty, admits each to you the degree Master of Business Administration, conferring upon you all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of that degree. You can now move the tassel to the right.
So we will now proceed with the students from the Executive MBA in International Business. First of all, I'd like to call Mr. Michael Müller from Germany. Diploma with distinction for Mr. Siep Groeneveld from the Netherlands. Mr. René van de Kandelaar from the Netherlands. Mr. Jochem van Leeuwen from the Netherlands. Mr. Bino Pillay, the Netherlands. And Ms. Yvonne Schultheis from Germany.
Congratulations, Masters of Business Administration, and thank you, Professor Van Maurik. We will now proceed with the awarding of the Master of Business Administration degree to the first graduates of the Global Distance MBA program. Professor Veldkamp, Academic Coordinator of the Global Distance MBA, may I invite you to join us on stage?
Diploma with distinction for Mr. Fabian Florman from Germany. Diploma with distinction for Mr. Herman de Kwaasteniet from the Netherlands.
Congratulations to you all, and thank you, Professor Veldkamp. I would like to invite to the stand back again Professor Van Maurik, Academic Coordinator for the MBA programs, and Ms. Helmi Kolen, Senior Manager Outreach Education Operations for... My apologies. My apologies. I've mentioned the wrong person. We're proceeding with the graduates from the Facility Management Executive MBA program. Yeah, sorry, we're making... This is not the usual procedure, my apologies for that.
Congratulations to the graduates from the Executive MBA specializing in Facility Management, a program in cooperation with the International Facility Management Expert Center. First of all, Mr. Stefan van de Krommenacker from the Netherlands. Mr. Maarten Riemersma from the Netherlands.
Congratulations to you all. Now we will proceed with the awarding of the MBA degrees of our outreach graduates. Ms. Helmi Kolen, may I please invite you to the stand.
Now we will invite the Masters of Business Administrations from locations abroad to the stage to receive their diplomas. We will start with the graduates from Zambia. Mrs. Sangster Melea Jere. Mr. Pascal Edwin Ngoza. Miss Mali El Rushed from Kuwait. Also from Kuwait, Mr. Fahad Al-Labdouda. From Kuwait, Mr. Essam Al-Zainei. From Kuwait, Miss Yasmin Hayat. From Kuwait, Mr. Mohammed Ali Khan. From Kuwait, Mr. Abdallah Ala Kamal Ali Mohammed. From Kuwait, Mr. Mohammed Al-Rish. Is absent. Okay, from Kuwait, Miss Mariam Al-Ghazam. From Kuwait, Mr. Hemat Al-Shume. Also. And from Kuwait, Ms. Nada Al-Mutawa. From Kuwait, Mr. Emad Al-Juma. And now our graduates from Nanjing, China, Mr. Wang Bo. Mr. Yuan Chun. Mr. Wu Yudong. Miss Wang Hao. Miss Seaman. Mr. Joe Dallin. Mr. Yang Kui. Miss Yao Jiehua.
There we go. Thank you.
Mr. Wu Chenwei. Now I welcome to the stage the graduates of Regent University College of Science and Technology from Ghana, Mr. Alex Antwi,
Okay, here we go. Great.
Mr. Joseph Ronald Ayi,
Here we go. Thank you.
Mr. Bennett Elvis Niboy,
Okay. Show me what you've earned. Here we go. Thank you.
Mr. Kenneth Aya Danso,
Okay. Here we go. Great. Thank you.
Miss Anita Ajoa Amanfu,
Okay. Here we go. Thank you.
Mr. Dominique Afful,
Okay. Here we go. Thank you.
Mr. Francis Akbuwali, Mr. Samuel Benjamin Annan. Miss Valerie Na Dodoa van der Puijen. Mr. Prince Mott Wellington. Miss Adriana Boateng Sapong. Miss Ajoa Enimel Amma.
Here we go.
Now our graduates from the Regional IT Institute in Cairo, Egypt, will come to the stage. Miss Leila Rasmi Jindi. Miss Nahed El Enem Eisa.
Thank you.
Miss Nanis Fethi Hassan. Mr. Rames Sami Gobran. Mr. George Makram Farah. Now I'd like to welcome to the stage the students from Saudi Arabia who have studied in Jeddah. Mr. Saji Kuriakose. Mr. Ashraf Atea El-Zehi.
Here we go.
Once more.
Speak into my lens. Yes? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Thank you.
Think better?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Mr. Bashir Ahmed Motasi.
Here we go. Thank you.
Dear graduates, dear distinguished guests, it's my honor to address you this morning. First, I would like to congratulate the graduates. I hope you can share your joy with your family and friends. This is also a moment to applaud your family and friends because they have supported you along the way. 2 years of study in the evening and on weekends, leaving you little time for the important things in life. For MSM, this is also a moment to cherish our family and friends. The MSM family consists of 21 partner institutes in Africa, South America, Asia, Europe, and the Pacific. Dear partner representatives who have joined us today for the graduation ceremony, you are our family members all over the world. Together with you, we manage to deliver MBA programs to 1,700 students abroad. Without your commitment, we would not be able to reach out to so many students. We are very pleased that we have graduates here today from our joint programs in China, Egypt, Ghana, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Zambia. Dear graduates, you represent the 1,700 MBA students who follow our program at 21 partner universities all over the world. Dear guests, it is my pleasure to introduce the partners attending today's ceremony. Dr. Alessio Ipinza, Rector of Centrum Pontificia Universidad Católica del Perú in Lima, Peru. Professor Mumba, Director Business School of the Eastern and Southern African Management Institute, also known as ESAM. Mr. Lim Apo, Director of FHR Limapo Institute for Social Studies in Paramaribo, Suriname. Dr. Kozak Metov, President and founder of the International Academy of Business in Almaty, Kazakhstan. Ms. Li Bing, officer from Nanjing University. Mrs. Al Moussal, President of the Kuwait Maastricht Business School in Kuwait. Mr. Olsen, Program Director at the Maastricht School of Management in Bucharest, Romania. Professor Larbi, President and CEO of Regent University College of Science and Technology in Accra, Ghana. Dr. Kada, Executive Director of the Regional Information Technology and Software Engineering Center in Cairo, Egypt. Professor Whitlock, Rector of the School of Finance and Banking in Kigali, Rwanda. Mr. Uzera, Officer in charge of the Namibia Business School in Windhoek, Namibia. Professor Patak, Head of the Graduate School of Business, University of the South Pacific, Fiji. Mr. Chue, Principal of the Technical and Vocational Teachers College in Luanshya, Zambia. Dear partners, thank you all for traveling all the way to Maastricht to join us today in this ceremony. We highly appreciate your attendance and value our partnerships. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Konen. We will now proceed with the awarding of the Master of Philosophy degrees. Hereto, I would like to invite to the stand Professor Naudet, Director of Research.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, it's an immense privilege for me to be called upon to take part in recognizing the sterling and very hard work that has been done over this past academic year in our doctorate program. We have heard this morning in the introductory opening remarks that the world faces incredible challenges, that we live in very challenging times, and that the task on managers and on leaders are very important, that management and leadership is crucial to unraveling all the Gordian knots that the international community and the world has gotten itself into. Now, today, if you go to any good bookshop and you browse around, or as is more likely these days, browse around on Amazon or Google, you will find that there are a wonderful number of texts that offer instant solutions to management and leadership. You can become a manager in 10 minutes by reading a certain text, or you can learn from the 20 successful habits of certain people to become excellent leaders. Now, at MSM, that is not our route, and not in the doctoral department and in our research degrees. There we do not rely on anecdotes or personal preferences or superstitions to inform management and leadership. We believe in the science-based approach, the evidence-based approach to find what works in a particular time. And that is also the philosophy and the approach within the doctoral department that offers the MPhil and doctorate degrees. Here, we are more focused on teaching and getting our students and candidates to think scientifically, to inculcate in them a scientific mindset. I have long ago forgotten the actual contents of my doctorate, but I hopefully still know how to do research, how to think like a scientist, and how to find solutions to new problems. And I think it's the same with the successes that we celebrate today in our doctorate program. The candidates, maybe you'll be disappointed to know that in 5 or 6 years' time, the actual knowledge that you gained about a specific topic will probably be outdated. But you can still, I think you can find solace in the fact that you will still know how to do research and how to find answers to questions that the world will no doubt face in 5 or 10 or 20 years' time. And moreover, that you can also instill that scientific approach to the next generation. And for this, MSM is very proud that this year we will be awarding, and we will be awarding 7 DBA theses, your magical number, Ms. Inman, but also 10 MPhil degrees. The DBA theses have been, 7 have been successfully defended this year. The candidates are unfortunately not with us, but I would like to acknowledge them and congratulate them. They are Mr. Sofian Reyes from Indonesia, Ms. Arwan Morsi from Kuwait, Mr. Alfred Misut from Malta, Mr. Suren Peter from Sri Lanka, Mr. Muhammad Adawi from Egypt, Mr. Muhammad Khalifa also from Egypt, and Ms. Rasha Alam from Egypt. Now, today we also have a number of MPhil candidates, 4 of which are present. Some are not present. Those that are in absentia, I also want to recognize their performance and their achievement. They are Ms. Ashma Sala from Egypt, Mr. Kabaka Nenda from Tanzania, Mr. Daruba Lariri from the United Kingdom, Ms. Nia El Dali from Egypt, Mr. Wiel Otterbeeks from the Netherlands, and Mr. Vincent Aloysius from Indonesia. We are also delighted that we do have present 4 of our MPhil candidates. They are Mr. Amr Farouk from Egypt, who has done a thesis, MPhil thesis, on an explanatory framework for the growth of small and medium enterprises. They are Mr. Maruf from Indonesia, with a thesis on the adoption of environmental strategies, the case of the hotel industry in Indonesia. Then we have Ms. Theresia Gunawan, also from Indonesia, with a thesis on the impact of clustering and entrepreneurial orientation on innovation. And then finally, but not least, we have Mr. Stefan Schatteman from Belgium, with a thesis, Differences in Drug Cost Awareness between Physicians, Patients and Pharmacists in Belgium. Thus, a better price information, reduce the gap. So you can learn from these titles that our students are grappling with the topics of the day, the environment, health issues, entrepreneurship, job creation. The big issues are really being addressed, and we are very grateful that these students have offered and invested their time and effort to pursue their research skills, develop these and develop their critical mindsets to these problems. MSM wishes to acknowledge that today and to recognize their achievement. Therefore, it is my great privilege and honor to call on Professor de Geysel to award the MPhil degrees to the MSM class of 2011.
Candidate for the degree of Master of Philosophy, please rise. The Master School of Management, upon recommendation of the faculty, admits you to the degree of Master of Philosophy, conferring upon you all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of that degree. You can now move the tassel to the right side.
Masters of Philosophy, I would like to invite you to come to the stage to receive your diplomas. First, from Egypt, Mr. Amr Farouk. From Indonesia, Mr. Maruf. Also from Indonesia, Ms. Theresia Gunawan. And a little bit closer by, from Belgium, Mr. Stefan Schatteman. Congratulations, Masters of Philosophy, and thank you, Professor Naudet. I would like to invite to the stand Ms. Diana Carapia Gonzalez. Ms. Carapia Gonzalez from Mexico will speak on behalf of the Master of Science students.
dear Board of Trustees of Maastricht School of Management, Professor Dr. de Gijssel, faculties, family, friends, our dear coordinator, Dr. De Man, and fellow graduates. First, I would like to express that I am very proud to be addressing you today as the MSc graduates of MSM. I would also like to thank MSM, the administration and faculty, for their hard work and dedication on our behalf. Today, we are receiving our diplomas and become the graduates of the MSc in Management in International Business. I guess that after a year full of projects, deadlines, exams, and experiences, not to mention the time-consuming thesis and its nerve-wracking presentation, most of us were looking forward to this moment. When the program is over, the diploma is in our pockets, and we're moving into another stage of life. But I want you to look back in time and remember the great moments we all had together as a group, more importantly as friends, and of course with our teachers. Recall the best moments of these years we shared. The incredible experience we lived this year is one of a kind. We all had to leave home, family, friends, and for most of us, our country, even the one who came from Friesland. But as challenging as this could have been, this opportunity brought us to being part of such an international class, where we kept on learning from each other's cultures. Remember our coffee breaks, where we would get to know each other more than just as classmates. Remember our great teachers and the challenges they would set for us to test ourselves and think beyond. For instance, the way Mr. Lahiri pushed us to our limits, preparing us for future experiences. And who will not remember the trip to China, where we got to know each other even better, especially because we were locked up together in the same room almost every day while working at EMBA. We may remember the moment we stepped into that plane on the way to the land of contradiction, as Mr. Thibault would call it. Who would have thought that from stepping in that plane, we would already taste a little bit of the Chinese culture? For instance, seeing one of our classmates being hunted down by the fellow Chinese travelers and ending up in the middle of a huge debate, causing us a 3-hour delay. Or when one of our classmates forgot their bags in the train on their way to the airport, missing the flight to Beijing. So many great experiences happened during that trip. We learned a lot about the country and its people, how to do business with Chinese, how foreigners do business in China. We even got to meet Chinese students who were very, very interested in getting to know some of us. But the fun of that trip was made by us. Those dinners together trying new things, like worms, frog legs, and mustard-flavored spinach. The karaoke evening with the Chinese students and Dr. De Man, where all our singing talents came out through singing and dancing the Waka Waka, and Backstreet Boys, everybody. Our cultural trips with Miss Thibault, and of course, the help of our dear and only Chinese classmate. All the experiences we had this year are not part of our past, but have helped to prepare us for the threshold of the real adult life. From now on, no one will give us a grade for our effort. We are free to go our own way and pursue what we think is best for us. Some of us may return to our own country. Some of us might stay in the Netherlands. But it will be different for every one of us. Some have found what they want and are already working. Some will rush to search for a job where we can apply our skills in practice. Some may decide to continue studying. Some will require time to think and will go traveling. Now that these studies are over, it is time to create our own lives, and for that, We have the whole world waiting for us. So let me wish you the best of luck and perseverance. I wish you all success in your future endeavors. We did it.
You definitely did it, Diana. Thank you so much. I would now like to invite to the stand Mr. René van de Kandelaar, who will speak on behalf of the executive MBA students.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before starting my speech, I would like to invite my fellow students to come here on stage. We are just with 6 students, so it enables me to invite them here on stage. Siep, Jochem, Binu, Yvonne, and Michael. The students who are standing here beside me had a very hard time the last 2 years because we combined our study with our full-time job, which is quite hard. Many people have a big job, hard to do. They have the families, the social life, the hobbies, and each of them decided 2 years ago to start a new hobby, and that is the Executive MBA program at MsM. It sacrificed a lot of time to sacrifice a lot of quality time with the families, and at the end now we made it and we are proud to stand here. Also, we have very nice memories on the trip to China. I recognize a lot of
My wife is sitting there.
I'm sure afterwards Binu can tell you some very nice stories about dolphins and whatever. It was hard, it was a struggle, it was nice, it was funny, but most of all it challenged our brains, this program, and gave us a wider view of life. And I would say the tassel's worth the hassle. I would like to give the floor to my fellow students to give a personal note to you. Binu.
Oh my gosh. What to say? 2 years ago, when I came here, I thought it's a difficult task for me. Today I'm standing in front of you as a winner. I can't achieve without help of many of my friends, family, especially my wife, my son, and my parents. And thank you for your support and help. Thanks.
Good morning. I think René said it right when he said that it was a hard time, especially the last few months when we had to do all the research on the thesis. And there's one day that I remember, that's the 10th of August, when we had a hard deadline to submit the thesis at 5 o'clock. And on Facebook we saw some postings by most of our classmates that they still had to do 50% of the thesis or something like that. But in the end, we all managed. And on the 10th of August in the morning, I decided to put some words, a Chinese proverb, on page 2 of my thesis. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today. And I think that we have planted this tree. Probably I put it in here and put it in the ground and nourish it and see what comes out. And I would like to thank everybody here. Thank you.
So for me it was, like all the other students, only for me one thing was different, and that's the fact that I have a military background, and I decided to do an MBA to enhance my commercial skills and insights. So I was, well, a little bit nervous entering this classroom with all these commercial director-like people always doing the BlackBerry thing and being busy calling, doing stuff. And I think one of the most, the things that will stick to my mind is the fact that all these people were walking around during class. It's just a small group, and when the professor was teaching, I was sitting there like I was taught to sit there, keep my mouth shut, not go to the bathroom, do not take that extra cup of coffee, just sit and listen. And then the moment came I had to go to the bathroom. And I raised my hand, and the professor was really wanted to say, yes, Jochem. I said, oh, could I please go to the bathroom? And everybody was laughing like hell, and I was like, what did I just say? So that's one of the things that I will keep in mind. The nice thing of this group, and I would like to express my thanks for that, is that it was a small group with some very strong individuals, I think. And those individuals really triggered me to think outside of the box, sometimes also out of the military box, which is sometimes hard if you're in the box, if you still follow me. So I would like to thank them, and of course MsM, my family, and especially Margreet, my partner, for doing all the dishes and cleaning stuff when I was studying. I will give it back to you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I'm actually one of the BlackBerry girls, and I was always like on conference calls and emails during the lectures. And definitely what René said at the beginning, it's really hard if you're already on a senior position and then to accomplish an MBA. And clearly the MBA has helped me to grow into this new position and is growing further, but it's really, really exhausting. Also inspiring and exciting at the same time. But as you said this morning, I'm really looking forward to spend some time, private time actually, valuable time with friends and families, and go back to the real work-life balance. So yeah, I really enjoyed this last 2 years. When we started, we made jokes, let's do a PhD afterwards. Honestly, at the moment, I told everybody, if I'm coming up with this idea, stop me, please. Thank you very much.
Yes, I'm a kind of leftover from the 2007 to 2009 MBA course. Due to the economic crisis, I was hit hard and just ran out of time. Then 2010 passed away, and suddenly you get the email, you know, your deadline is, I think it was 8th of August at 4 o'clock. So maybe you could have done 2 days extra. And you start thinking about your thesis. Okay, what was it about? And you start working on it. And the last 6 weeks really was a hard time. But finally, yeah, we made it. I can say I'm proud to be here today. It was a great study and experience, and thank you to everybody.
Where is the champagne?
Well, thank you, René, Binu, Jochem, Yvonne, Siep, and Michael. Now I would like to invite to the stand Dr. Nada Al-Mutawa. Dr. Mutawa from Kuwait will speak on behalf of the graduates from the outreach locations.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, faculty, staff, friends, proud parents, and above all, graduates. Good morning, class of 2011. Coping with the changing learning environment, there is a need, according to the World Bank, to still look for methods to create an atmosphere for continuous renewal of knowledge, and that is what it's all about. There is a need for organizations to recognize that and enhance higher education strategies, remembering, of course, the importance of educational governance. Therefore, developing a global education network is regarded essential for any country, and especially for our part of the world. This global education network that we value being part of this program, has developed within a framework and guided good education in our region. The development was went like a spillover on our education system and is shaped and still being shaped by the global community, which we are proud to be part of. On this wonderful day, celebrating our academic success, I would like to share my own experience with you. As a Kuwaiti lecturer who has a job at Kuwait University, master's and PhD degree in the field of international relations. I am also a regional board and elected board member of the Young Arab Leaders in the region, in the Arab region, developing Arab entrepreneurial skills. I am a survivor of Harvard University's first Middle East program of development of a changing world, half a lifetime. I was striking an uneasy balance between ambitions I had for myself and what is expected from me. I became convinced as a political scientist and as a researcher that my academic journey was not complete. For a very simple reason, I did not have the art of utilizing that knowledge into maybe a project, running my own business one day, maybe diversifying something away from politics and international relations. And that was the cause that drove us and colleagues of mine to step into the world of an MBA degree, to leave political science for a couple of years and step into the world of economic strategic management, accounting, and other specializations that we thought it was important for us. And this is what we did. Today, I stand here as a graduate. I was a class representative as well and a student president of Kuwait Master School of Business. I have achieved part of that dream. I was able to diversify the knowledge I always wanted to. With economics, I was able to shortly finish up a book on economic diplomacy and the relations between Kuwait and Japan. With strategic management, I was able to establish my own, take a very small steps to establish my own consulting firm. And most of all, which is very important for me, the entrepreneurship, which is the title of my thesis, Women Entrepreneurs and Development of Networks in the Arab region. I have succeeded to uncover the status of Arab women entrepreneurs, and the barriers they face. It shows not only with an MBA degree, you can run your own business, manage a consulting firm, or even diversify your knowledge, but most of all, touch other people's lives too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Al-Matawa. We are approaching the end of the ceremony, and I would like to invite Professor de Gijzel to come to the stand for the closing speech.
Thank you, Ellen. Ladies and gentlemen, honorary guests, dear graduates. When looking around, I see so many happy people. And I think this is not, of course, surprising after this graduation ceremony. First of all, our graduates have received their degree. Second, my colleagues are certainly satisfied because of class 11 having successfully graduated today. The Board of Trustees can be satisfied with the educational targets the Board of Directors, operations staff, and faculty have achieved. I hope also our distinguished guests have enjoyed the ceremony, which I want to close now. Let me thank our guest speakers, Professor Kingsley Larby and Mrs. Jessie Inman, for their valuable and wonderful speeches to the graduation ceremony. Finally, I want to thank our support staff. Without their great support and enthusiasm it would not have been possible to organize this graduation ceremony, which our students experience always as very special. I want to applaud. I think MsM has again demonstrated that it can successfully contribute to management education in developing countries and emerging market economies, where there is a shortage of high-quality management supply and a need for management development. So many words have already said, and I do not want to repeat. Please allow me, as Dean, to say some last words to our graduates. You are coming from 39 different countries. This cultural diversity among students' body can be judged impressive and reflects MsM's mission. Today represents the culmination of what has been years of very hard work. Studying for the MBA, the Master of Science, Master of Facility Management, or Master of Philosophy, whilst maintaining demanding professional commitments that forced many of you to choose a part-time program of MsM. You have earned an important degree, but you have learned much more than your course material. You have also learned to reflect, to exercise your imagination, to create your own internal discipline of study, to observe, to interact with other students, to make friendships, and to form intercultural relationships. All of these things, I think, are implicit parts of the MsM experience, most of them more important than the actual content of the degree course you are graduating from. You can be proud of having been awarded an internationally recognized MsM degree. These degrees meet the international standards as certified by the International Assembly for Collegiate Business Education, also called IACBE, the Association of Collegiate Business Schools and Programs, also called ACBSP, and finally, the Association of MBAs, called EMBA. These international accreditations has contributed to the high reputation of MsM in developing countries and emerging market economies. You can also be proud of belonging now definitely to the MsM alumni family. I hope that you will become an active member of the alumni chapter in your home country. I consider you all as important ambassadors of Maastricht School of Management. We are all very proud of what you have achieved, and I know all your families who are here today or could not come to Maastricht, who have also made many sacrifices over the time of your studies, are also very proud of you. Many congratulations to each one of you, and I hope the MBA, MSc, MPhil, and Master of Facility Management you have worked so hard to achieve will enable you to contribute more effectively to the continuing development of your country. Well done to you all. After I have closed the ceremony, you are all kindly invited for refreshments at the MsM Reception Hall and Business Lounge. The audience is requested to wait in this conference hall until the procession, the VIPs, and students have left. I now close the academic convocation, not without saying, class of 2011, you are dismissed.